cameras, please.
We do part of the engine room because they've got pipes and all that stuff everywhere, but we're diverting by part of the ship. That's not actually open for tours yet, so it is a little bit messy. They're meant to be finished on Friday and things ran over because of the heat and temperature and stuff, so the stuff's in the engine room, so we can't go down there just because it's pipe work everywhere.
Cool.
Welcome on board. So so this is the bridge of the Cape Don. So the Cape Don is what's called a lighthouse tender. So basically we go around building and fixing lighthouses. So the government said we need a lighthouse, navigation beacon, radio station, specific location. This ship would sail there, drop anchor, and the crew would go ashore and build your lighthouse, navigation beacon, whatever. Also maintenance, so if the lighthouse needed fuel, food, water, whatever the lighthouse needed, this ship supplied as well. So massive water tanks to carry the water for the lighthouses. A lot of them didn't have their own water supply, or insufficient. The ship would also carry all the fuel, so diesel or gas, depending on what the lighthouse was burning, and all the food provisions, because often they were so far away from mainland they couldn't get food, and they tend to go on strike when they don't get fed. So in here you've got the helm in the middle, so that's what steers the ship. On the left hand side there is the telegraph, same as you've seen on Titanic. It rings engine orders to the engine room back and forth. This ship's fitted with what's called a vertical pitch propeller controller. That means the captain has direct control over the angle of the propeller blade, which controls his speed and direction. So it gives him much faster control, but at the expense of having the engine running at full power all the time, which may not be as efficient fuel-wise. They'll obviously manage it so it was fairly efficient. Normally they'd use it when coming into anchorages and enclosed waters where the captain wanted greater control. At sea they just manoeuvre the normal way. In the middle is a gyro compass. So we've got two compasses on board, the gyro compass, which is the green unit, and above you is the periscope, which would go up to the magnetic compass. The magnetic compass is upstairs purely to keep it away from electrical and magnetic interference that's in here, so metalwork, turning lights on and off will change the compass's heading, thus use it, put it up there. Also in here is a short range and long range radar unit. So the short range radar does actually work, and we do run it time to time. On the right hand side is also the whistle control, which used to blow the horn, but the horn's separately controlled these days.
Cool. Huh. And what's this section here?
So that's the short range radar.
Right.
So normally, one of the things we're looking at doing is a way of powering it up and having a computer run the screen so we can actually see it. But like a lot of the literal stuff, it's more complicated than it sounds.
Okay. All right. Nice.
So head into the radio room.
I was totally fascinated with this last time.
Oh, the guys are in here the other day. They're trying to get the top half working now. There was a couple of eureka moments, so it sounded like it was going good. So the middle unit is the receiver, so that is all incoming messages coming through that. The right hand unit is your transmitter, so the bottom half sends your messages and the top half boosts the power and sends it out so for further away. The bottom half of it is working, and they're trying to get the top half working so they can actually talk to other ships and stuff, but a lot of it is electrical and way out of my pay grade. They've also got the emergency receiver and transmitter. Again, they're on the to-do list to restore up, but getting componentry for it all. This is a Morse code computer, so apparently what they do is they type the message in it, it'd send it out via Morse code, and then the message would come back in via Morse code, and then they'd get a printout and saying they've said do this. That way they have to know Morse code.
Okay.
I'm not sure the status of that. They will have been working on it, but I'm not sure how far they've got with it. Also in here is our lifeboat radio, so this would go into a lifeboat if your boat is sunk. They take this with them. They're currently restoring this back to working order as well, so we can take it to various events and talk back to the ship and vice versa, to demonstrate to the kids how it all works.
Nice.
Fix that later. Also there's a World War II vintage Mercury receiver. It's being restored back to working order as well. So what they do is they plug it into the ship's antenna system, that way they can send messages out.
And that one up there?
Oscilloscopes, so they use that to test electrical circuits.
Oh.
The screen makes funny colours.
That's so cool. And follow the tour guide. And down some stairs. Oh gosh!
Oh,
She
No,
popped
go.
up for
I heard the door and I was like, huh?
we try to get this room, at least one room on the ship, at least cool for the volunteers.
This is nice.
Everyone's hiding in here today.
Yeah, the fan.
There is an air conditioner back there, but it's not quite big enough for the room.
It's a very small, underpowered one.
Yeah,
Oh, it's quite nice.
it is.
Much better now.
Oh yeah.
And I think from last time, you said that most of this furniture was original.
Yeah.
This room
Yeah.
is getting a lot of attention lately. We've got a lot of volunteers on board who like cleaning, and so all the brass work's being done up here. They're sanding and getting ready to paint around the windows as well. A lot of work being done in here at the moment,
Wow.
especially now there's air conditioning in here.
I think it was just that we called it air conditioning made them believe that it was working.
It did
Because I
feel-
was not convinced.
It did feel a bit cold on the outside. Hopefully. But I guess when you get out in the sun for 15 minutes, you come in here anyway, it's going to be cooler.
True. Yep.
So this is the officers' smoke room. So you had 10 officers on board. The captain, chief engineer, 3 deck officers, 3 engineering officers, 1 electrical officer and 1 radio officer. So the captain and chief engineer had their own ensuite bathroom and their own little sitting room or office themselves. But the other 8 officers had a single room, that was it, and a shared bathroom. So they're given their own lounge room, if you will, or living room. This is their living room. So this is one of the few rooms on the ship that's been modified since the ship was constructed. So originally it was a long open room, a solid wall where I'm standing, and that bar wasn't there. We've got photos somewhere, I don't think to hand unfortunately, but it was a room that we couldn't work out. We had these photos, like, hang on, where is this on the ship? No one recognised the room. It was only when we realised it was actually this room without the bar and a solid wall down here. The reason for the wall was, in the old days, they realised that the officers, if they're on engineering duty and in dirty clothes, they couldn't be seen with the other officers. So they keep them from mixing. They had a private corridor that come from the engine room straight to their bathroom and have a shower. However, within 10 years, they realised that was a stupid idea, knocked the wall down and put a bar here. So the bar's a late 60s, early 70s edition.
Yeah.
Now the room's wider and slightly shorter, so it's kind of changed the
A
effects
very
of the
good
room.
addition.
It is. Very popular crew. Unfortunately, we now have is slightly chilled water. Despite all the wine glasses up there telling a porky.
Okay, cool.
We'll head downstairs.
Yep.
So this being the opposite deck, you had it all. Just move up. Savannah. Shoot them the horn.
Okay.
They have got a horn on board.
Alright, we'll see if
They may actually respond. So that ship there is the Southern Swan or the Savannah, depends on when you're talking. There's a black stick out the door.
Oh yeah. Oh, look at that.
So Tracy's going to blow our horn and see if they respond. We had the Dolphin come past yesterday. They're another sailing ship. They haven't got a horn. They've just got like a party blower.
Yeah, yeah.
And so the poor guy's actually trying to blow his heart out, trying to just watch it easy. Our horn is very loud.
Okay, that's all right.
It's to your left.
I'll brace myself.
50 metres. Well, we tested it this morning. I scared the crap out of these fishermen. I didn't even realise they were next to the ship.
So moanful.
Yeah, it's because the solenoid for it's down a deck below, 20 metres away, so it takes the air time. It takes the air 3 seconds to get to the horn, but when you shut it off, it also takes 3 seconds to evacuate. So that's why it sounds that way.
Okay.
It's on my to-do list of things to modify.
I've got some more stairs.
Doctors, a lot of lighthouses had weather stations on them to send messages back to the BOM, and so the BOM officials would go out and check the weather stations, make sure they're still calibrated correctly. Various universities send scientists and researchers out to various locations again to do testing and research and stuff. And so these are the cabins they've used. So they had six standard cabins like these ones. There was 2 doubles which are under restoration at the moment, and the VIP suite upstairs which is under restoration as well.
Okay.
No response.
I thought they had a horn, but they may not anymore.
I was waiting for it.
You would have definitely heard ours.
It's so much quieter when so this is the engineer's mess.
Sorry. I'll just lock the door there.
So, as I said before, engineers weren't allowed to be mixed with the other officers when they were on duty. So this is the room they'd sit and eat. Because no one likes eating here anymore, it's just used the volunteer notice room.
Right.
I imagine why not? Fridge. It's like they want a view or something.
This is nice.
So this is the passenger lounge. So the 12 passengers, when they want their cabins, have this area to relax in. Again, original furniture in here. So all their cabins, bar the VIP suite on this side. On that side was their bathroom and and had their own laundry as well, so they could do their own stuff without having to worry the rest of the crew.
Okay.
The big model at the bottom is the builder's model of the Cape Morton, which is a sister ship. It's on loan from the State Archives in New South Wales. And the model on top, which is half built, is the SS Cape York, which is the predecessors. They were built at Cockatoo Island in the 20s, and we hope to get the model finished off when someone can do it for us.
Okay. That's a big area. And look at the little ships.
As soon as it gets hot, the fans will come out.
Yeah, I'll just plant myself here.
So this is the office and passenger dining saloon. So unlike the rest of the office accommodation, which is up higher up, this is right in the back of the ship. This is as low as the officers would go. For some reason they converted one bigger table and they put carpet over the lino.
Okay.
So we won't convert that table back to two because it's easier having one big table. But we are planning on taking the carpet off eventually and installing the lino, but it's just covered in tar. It's a big job.
Yeah.
And because we use this room so much, we can't just shut it down for a month to do the job because the volunteers want someone to eat and relax.
That table over
So
there
another
used to be
model-
the captain's table.
So that's another model of Cape Don that was built by one of our members, Jeff, and it's on loan to us. It's actually a remote control model, but he won't give us the remote because he doesn't trust us. Can't say I blame him.
Very nice.
So we're heading out of officer territory into where the crew live.
Yep.
So the lower of the ship, you got the lower the rank was. So on this side here was all the able seamen, ordinary seamen, and oiler. And the far cabin at the end was the boatswain who was in charge of the deck crew. So he was the buffer between the officers and the sailors, and he was what's called a petty officer. So this cabin itself is what's called an oiler's cabin, and an oiler is the man in the engine room who helps the chief the engineers doing their job. So he'd start and stop machinery, lubricate stuff, hence the term oiler, and just keep an eye on things for the engineer.
Okay.
Same cabin as what the able seamen and sailors have got.
Cool.
So all the crew in here were single berth cabins as well. Most big ships in that area had the crew in 4 to 6 people per room. These all had single berth cabins, good pay and good conditions because just rough work away from family.
Yep.
They're all very well looked after.
Some more stairs.
This boy was an apprentice sailor, so he'd come on board. That's where he'd start his journey becoming a seaman. So this is the crew's mess. So this is where the crew, all the sailors, this is where the crew would all hang out. Again, original furniture in here. And so in here would be your able seamen and your sailors, your ordinary seamen, your deck boys, and all that would eat and drink in here and relax. So there was 4 basic, as I mentioned before, the ship was segregated, so you had 4 dining rooms aboard. Officers and passengers dining saloon, this is your general sailors dining room, there was the cooks and stewards dining room, which is now the bar, and then there was the petty officers dining room. There was only 3 petty officers on board, so it was kind of redundant having a separate dining room just for 3 people. The cooks and stewards would eat separately to everyone else because they were eating after everyone, they were serving food during the time. So they knocked their bar down and they knocked their room down and converted it into a bar because alcohol is seen as more important. This room doesn't get used as much anymore. We tend to mainly use it as a classroom when we have classes on board the ship, hence the projector on the screen. Also movie nights. Some of my mates and I were over in the UK last year looking at old boats, so we've had a couple of movie nights in here as well.
Cool. Great place to hang.
Better when it's not so hot.
We're coming into the kitchen.
Just watch your head in here, there's a few.
Yeah.
As I find out, even after 15 years, I keep finding out. So this is the galley. So all the food was brought in here, done and prepped. So behind me was a side house where vegetables were peeled. So right around there is the bakery where all the bread and cakes will be made. There were avid bakers of bread. And so right there is a main oven range, also a deep fryer, a steamer and a grill. So they were very well looked after here. It was a very neat little galley for serving food to the crew. So the crew's food would go out that door into the pantry, then to the crew. To the officers, they go up that elevator upstairs, and then to the other crew around that corner, they just duck out and take it around for them.
Okay.
Very surprised there's no hole in the wall to make it a bit easier for them.
Yeah, true. Huh. And they'd go out that way. Nice.
Yeah, so because the engine rooms, we can't go all the way to the engine room at the moment, we've diverted via here. Still under restoration, we're hoping to open up this area. The tour you did is a standard tour. From late April, we're doing a longer tour which covers this area as well.
Yes, we didn't come here. I thought so.
It was an absolute mess. They're doing a lot of work in here. They've refixed the lighting in here. The crew have been working very hard in here. It's almost ready.
Oh wow, look at this.
This is a 2 AM special. Two of us couldn't sleep last night, so we ended up down here scrubbing till early hours in the morning.
This is nice. This is the original.
So this room was built, I think, rebuilt in the either the early 80s or late 70s. We've had conflicting stories from various crew members. So originally it would have looked the same as the crew's mess, same interior. You can actually see some of they've actually literally stuck this red and black lining on the wall. You can actually see where the old stuff is showing underneath in various locations. And so it looked exactly the same as that, same pattern walling, and just 2 tables in here for the cooks and stewards. But alcohol was more important, so now they've got a bar in here. The sister ship got jealous, so they had a bar, so they actually knocked a hole into the room next door to give themselves a bigger bar. You can see what the priorities were on these ships.
100%. Wow. I'm just going to come over where you are and take a photo from out here. Oh, look at this. Got like a nice little, what do you call it, tropical scene happening on the mirror.
The fairy lights are obviously much more modern. We've got all the younger volunteers on board, so this tends to be where they play Monopoly and card games and stuff. It's got the nice atmosphere for it.
It has.
No, definitely. Since we've got all the lights in here working again, they've complained it's too bright in here now.
Yes.
I think it's cork or something.
Yeah. Nice. Cool. This looks good. I love this.
So we can go to the top of the engine room. So this is the engine room. So as you can see, there's pipe work, ducting going left, right, and centre all over the engine room at the moment. Because we're going to dry dock next year, we got funding to do some. We got a donation of some of the money to do some of the oil. So they've got to pump out all the excess oil. So when we go to dry dock, if they're welding, they don't set fire to it. A few American ships have gone up in flames in the last few years because they haven't pumped the oil out properly, and up they go in flames. So we'd rather avoid that. So what they do is they basically pump any excess out, wash the compartment out with hot water, pump it all ashore into tankers, and take it away for recycling. So we got rid of basically anything we don't need on board, like under-refined fuel and stuff, is all gone bobos.
Just going to sit on those things. Yep.
So that was being done in the last week, and they're coming in a couple of days to finish off and take away all the pipework and stuff and return our engine room to us.
Well, that'll be nice, won't it?
It is. And the electricians are also down there doing wiring work on some of the lights, so we've got more lighting in some areas down there because we're opening up more of the engine room for tours as well. But like everything, because it's all done by voluntary labour with donated money, it gets done when it gets done. Up there is the main DC switchboard. As it looks like it looks quite dead. So the ship's got two circuits on board. It's an AC system and a DC system. So if you're ever in the area, you might hear the generator running every now and again. So that powers that switchboard, which allows us to run stuff down here. The AC system is completely separated, and it runs lighting and other stuff on the ship. So to give you an idea where the waterline is, the waterline is roughly about where your head is that white board. It's roughly between there and the blackboard. So we're not actually that far on the water. If you look over there, that's the hull there. So you can see how about the hull looks from the outside because we can't do any painting. The hull actually is in structurally really good shape. That gives you an idea what it looks like. The ship is still quite solid. Like we get inspected twice a year. One is for insurance and one is for the government. And so we get what's called basically every ship that's in service has to get what's called a marine survey. And they inspect everything, the safety equipment, the ship's hull, structure, staircase, all that stuff. And so we still get inspected. So all of them are DC. So when they're studying the saltwater cooling systems, purple is hydraulic, you've got yellow, which is lubrication oil, brown, which is diesel oil, and that way if you're looking at a system, you know what you're looking at rather than kind of trying to guess what it is. Red is fire flooding fluids.
Does it have a desalinator?
No. For some reason, even though the ship had to supply all the lighthouse with fresh water, it actually didn't have a desalination plant. It actually just carried all the fresh water on board. It's really raining outside. So just get you guys to follow Natasha back down that way. I'll make it longer there. You good, Alan?
You go.
Yeah, just follow Natasha around that way. Yep.
I love machinery and industrial. It just just blows my mind.
There's hatches above all the departments, so you can escape from multiple ways.